From the Homestead Studios in Santa Clarita, California, this is a Headache Soul production. Welcome to Just the Tip-Sters, America's favorite true crime podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Morgan. With me today is my handsome and talented co-host, Joshua Flatline Bevan.
Oh no. Flatline?
He kills every conversation.
Oh.
Just squashes it right down.
I walk in the room and everybody's looking at
Code
me.
Blue, stat! With your paddles.
And I come in with the paddles, like trying, but
Hey kids, what's happening?
but I'm so awkward and it doesn't work.
No.
Like I'm paddling the nurse.
Yeah,
Like
something
not
else.
not
Bandages.
even working.
Yeah, where the bandages are.
Pile of
You're the
sheets.
cutest thing, my little
Ka-dunk.
flat line. Yeah. You pull it really far and then the plug comes out of the wall and it's not hooked up and
Oh, no.
it's like a Jerry Lewis marathon.
Yes. Perfect. Okay.
Hey lady, wake up. Why aren't these working? My little flat line.
Oh,
I
no.
will have you know, Edward Kent, attorney at law, the
Okay.
women in his office said, "Why are you so mean to him? He just takes it."
Just-
And I go, look,
is it-
he knows he deserves that and more.
Oh,
He also knows I love him on this day of love.
because you love me.
I do. Happy Valentine's Day, my beloved.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's to you.
Yes. thank
I
you.
know you wouldn't. If you didn't love me, you wouldn't tease.
There you go.
It's like the girl who like punched me on at recess on second grade.
Dipped your ponytail in the inkwell or shook a frog at you.
Oh, right.
Look what I got.
I didn't have a ponytail in second grade.
I imagine you kind of as a hipster.
Yeah.
Like
No, I had a good mullet for a while.
I can picture it
Yeah, I had.
because your boys have interesting hair.
I had the coonskin cap thing with the ponytail.
Oh
Like,
my
so
goodness.
it's shaved all around the sides.
Oh my goodness.
And then the
Wow.
yeah.
That's why you are so open with your boys. I love that you let them have multiple hairstyles.
Yeah, experiment. Do your
Yeah,
thing. Hair will grow. No tattoos yet.
Well, they're a little young.
Yeah.
Have they asked for them?
No, but I think do your thing with your hair. Express yourself with your hair, with your clothes.
Yeah.
Clothes will grow back. I mean, hair will grow back. Clothes we can.
They are like very unique boys with, they have their own sense of style already.
Yeah.
Because you've let them have that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're a good dad.
Thank you.
You're a good dad.
Aw.
So you got candy. What?
So you bat me down and then lift me back up. It's great.
Why don't you lift me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down?
Thank you, ladies from the law offices
of Edward Kent. Yes. Kelly, Francesca, there's a bunch of them. And they all listen to the podcast now. They're like, why are you so mean to him?
Well, thank you, ladies.
No, don't. No, they don't. No. They don't know you like I know you. They think I'm just mean. They're like, he just takes it. I'm like, what's he supposed to do? Get up and stab me? It's a true crime podcast.
I'm in your house.
Yeah, right. It's a joke. It's a jokey joke. I can do it because he deserves it, every second of it and more. All right, so I give you like some candy and some stuff for the boys, but I get the best Valentine's Day present ever. So I should explain. Last week or week before, Joshua and I were talking about the retired colors that were coming back, and it was daisy yellow, not dandelion yellow or whatever, and raw umber. And I thought it was burnt umber, but it's raw umber. I said raw umber on the podcast, but I remembered it differently. But
there's burnt sienna.
Yeah,
that's a whole different.
I think that one's still there.
Okay.
I think that one's still there. But a lot of these were discontinued in the 90s. Daisy yellow and raw umber. And so yeah, Joshua and I were talking about that and about how therapeutic coloring is, and we had a coloring lunch date, and
so much fun.
It was really fun. I'm going to post the pictures. Yeah,
I totally I poo-pooed it. I was like, okay, fine. But lunch, there's food, all right.
Yeah,
but I had so much fun.
Oh, that's why you went, because of lunch.
Right. That was probably.
But you got into it.
It was so
more
cool.
than me.
I don't know. There was.
You're very artistic. Like he did shading and ombre colors, and it was really lovely watching him color.
but it felt very connected, even though maybe our eye contact wasn't, we had a whole lot less eye contact than if we were sitting and
because we
having
were
coffee
coloring
or whatever.
when to watch. Yeah.
Right. But we had great deep conversations.
Yes,
and
we did.
It was fun.
I love it.
Felt super connected. I
think it's such a, maybe you let your guard down because you're busy concentrating.
Sure.
Yeah, it did feel like we were very open and connected with each other. I hadn't thought about that. I just love coloring so much. You can sit there for a long time and not say anything, and yet you're still together doing the same thing.
Right.
But I got the best Valentine's Day present. I got a Barbie coloring book and a box of 24 skin colors, not the Buffalo Bill collection from Silence of the Lambs, but Crayola. And it is beautiful. And they have like 3 different colored young ladies on the front of the box. And I mean, it's beautiful. I know. And Josh was like, there's more than 24 colors. And I go, no, but this is a good start. This, like, one was almond and like a rose lily, like somebody's real pink, and yeah, it's like beautiful. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm like, oh my god,
where did
Melissa
you find it?
That.
I definitely need it.
I was I've been in a few coloring aisles this week.
Okay,
I
filling out your
that
collection?
Was Target.
Okay, because I've never seen that. I have never seen that anywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Target. I just saw it and went, oh my god,
yeah, because it's beautiful.
No, now
what a great concept.
You introduced me to coloring. Well,
I opened your mind.
Yeah, no, it was just such a fun thing. I'm like, oh, I totally want to have
coloring dates,
like a bag of stuff to just be able to do this. And so I stopped in different coloring aisles. And,
that's hilarious. I love that you're building your collection. Yeah. You're curating your collection. And Joshua was like, are you sure you have enough? And then we go downstairs and I have 4 drawers of books from most of them are gifts, honestly, and I love them. And then I have like a silver valise that looks like I'm carrying money from a 1960s heist film that has like pencils and chalk and erasers. And I mean, oh my God, I pulled out everything. We needed a table for 4 at the restaurant because the table for 2 wouldn't hold everything. But I kept pulling stuff out, and Josh was like, oh, okay, you got that too? Okay. And I have like metallic, pencils, and yeah, it was such a great time. But now I can't wait for my ones that are colored like skin. Yeah, can't wait.
You have all different races of Barbie.
Yeah, of Barbie coloring. Yeah.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Yeah, I'm still gonna like be quoting that movie like forever. Oh, speaking of movies, I went with a couple of nerds last night to see the opening night of Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah, how was it?
It was great, and I don't give 2 shits. Sorry. But what did happen, and I thought I brought him in here to show Joshua, but I didn't. So standing in line, I'd already gotten the tickets like 2 weeks ago because my sweet friend Nicole said, hey, me and Tom and my son and my mom are going.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sure Michael would want to go. So, because he's a big fucking nerd, and we'll just, the 2 of us will go, and I will. It was my first time experiencing the stadium whatever in Valencia, so I got to like recline.
Oh, with the nice chairs.
Yeah. Yes, and a tray in front of me, and I brought a blankie. I took my my beloved Joshua's. When you go to a movie with Joshua, it is as if he is planning on living there and having squatters' rights. He has a bag with like a blanket and a pillow and a tumbler and snacks, and I think some legal documents saying that he doesn't have to move.
Tissues in case it's a sad,
crying. Yes. You're like a Boy Scout.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you can start a fire.
It's my movie theater.
It is a bag, man. It is a lot. When we first, were going to movies together, I was like, what the fuck is that? And then he starts pulling stuff out, and I'm like, is that like a picnic table? I don't know what's happening. He just kept pulling shit out. And I was like, he's smart. And I'm the non-rule breaker. I'm like, well, you can't bring your own drinks in. They'll like tackle you and throw you out. Yeah, no, they don't. So Joshua shows up and defiantly will wave his tumbler at him. Hey, I'm going into theater too. Did you see my tumbler?
Well, okay, but they don't. The biggest drink that I bring in is boba because I love boba in the movie.
Right.
And that's.
They don't have that.
It's the perfect movie snack drink because it's a snack and a drink. boba is amazing in the movie theater because it's a little treat and it's a drink.
Right.
And, you know, it's the perfect, and they don't have that in the movies.
No.
Like they don't sell that.
Right.
So I feel fine bringing that in. I'm not going to bring in,
a steak
Twizzlers
and baked potatoes
or something that they sell.
Oh, fuck off. I bring Twizzlers.
Right.
Anyway, that's because you're a bad influence. Anyway, I brought my little bag, and we were in line to get Michael wanted popcorn, and he goes, "Oh, look at this." And I'm like, oh, I started like trembling. There was one Count Orlok.
Yes.
Funko Pop. Is that what they're called?
Okay.
Yeah. A Funko Pop of Count Orlok. One left. One. And everything else was like the Hulk and other shit.
Okay.
And I didn't care if it was $800. And I go up and I'm like, hi, I'd like to buy this. And it was $12 because it was 20% off.
Nice.
$12 Count Orlok from Nosferatu.
Cool.
I am so excited. But it's the original Nosferatu. So he's got the long nails and the pointy ears and the fucked up teeth, but he doesn't have the mustache.
No mustache.
Yeah.
Oh,
I might put one on him. I was like, can I get him out and play with him? And Michael's like, no.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
No.
He's like, no. And I'm like, I want to play with him.
You can play with him.
Thank you. I'm going to take him out. No one's going to care about that.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I'm very excited with my Count Orlok. Okay. So there you go. Captain America. I'm not giving you a review because I don't know all the shit that happened. Harrison Ford did a wonderful job. Whatever his name is, Anthony Mackie, great job.
Okay.
Blah 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 blah. It's great. Go see it. I don't care.
I'm gonna see it today, no matter what your review
of course
was.
you are. No, I know. You know the backstory.
Wesley and I are like chomping at the bit to go. I mean,
perfect,
because we know all of the backstory, all of the movies.
Yeah,
I tried to give you a primer while we were coloring, and you were like, "Nah, I don't give a shit."
Oh,
I stopped listening.
I thought that. Okay, you did that, and then I said, right. I said, you lost me at World War II.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. I tried so hard to condense all of the movies.
I know.
Because there's
and all the people.
All the movies, all the people.
All the Bucky
Hulk,
and the
Bucky,
thing and the thing and the thing. And I'm like, I don't know any of these people and I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, and somebody was the Falcon and somebody got the shield.
Yeah.
And as we're driving home, and Michael had tried, he would lean over him now and go, this is this. And I'm like, I don't care. I do not care. And as we're driving home, pretty late because it started at 9:10. I guess it's trying to be midnight Eastern time.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're driving home and I go, here's what I remember from all of that. When Captain America throws his mighty shield. And he was like howling, laughing. He goes, oh my God, I haven't heard that in so long. And I go, me either.
Right.
And I don't care about it now.
And it didn't happen in this movie.
Yeah, no. It was what, like 40, 50 years ago or something? I don't know. Yeah. That's all I remember, and I don't care. All right. So would anyone like to hear about a true crime event? Or is it movies with Mel and Josh? Anyway, it keeps me awake when I have to go to a late movie?
Oh, no.
Magic Mind.
Oh, wow.
Magic
Mind. Amazing.
It is. I took one later yesterday than normal because I knew I was going to be, like staying up late. And I was like, I am a crabby, tired old lady, and this is going to help me. And it really did. Instead of hitting a wall, I stayed awake through the entire movie.
Nice.
The other, I sort of say contestants, like we're on some terrible game show. The other movie viewers were like, look, you're not falling asleep. And I'm like, I know. I had Magic Mind so I can stay awake during Captain America late at night. Yeah, it really is an amazing gift that you can give to yourself. If you use both of the elixirs, they have the daytime elixir and the nighttime sleep shot. You can wake up in the morning refreshed and go to sleep when you think on days that you cannot. I don't know about anyone else, but I am so like stretched thin. Sometimes I'm tired and I go to bed and I think I'm not going to be able to even sleep tonight, but I do. The sleep elixir is so helpful, and the daytime elixir keeps me seriously going. It's you don't have to replace your caffeine. You can use it in conjunction with your caffeine. It is time release. It helps the receptors in your brain. It doesn't give you a spike and then a crash. It keeps you steady. It keeps you, in a place where you can keep moving until you understand, oh, I'm doing okay. I'm not falling apart. I'm not wanting to go to sleep in the middle of the day. I am, look how I am succeeding in what I want to do because I don't have to rest, take some time. And I was taking a bunch of vitamins because I had this terrible allergy thing. And I looked at the back of the bottle, of the elixir bottle, and everything I was taking was already in there.
Nice.
So I didn't, Joshua was making
Cool.
fun of me because I have these like horse pills with
Right.
vitamin C. I'm taking like 3 of them. He's like, "What are you doing?" I mean, they do look pretty big. So I looked and I was like, "Oh, you know what? Everything I need is in my Magic Mind." So that's
Cool.
pretty helpful.
Super cool.
Yeah, I hope that, you will give yourself the gift in 2025 of, taking control of your own health, your own mental and physical health, doing something really good for yourself, giving yourself some resilience to get through the days that can be tough. And go to magicmind.com and in the promo code area, put tips is 20. That's TIPSIS 20. Tips is 20 for 20% off the 24-hour pack, the 24-hour bundle for Magic Mind. So this episode is a really interesting one in that I have a bit of a connection to it. It's from New Albany, Indiana, and my very good friend Stacy lives there. It is across the Ohio River from Louisville. It's like it would be like a bedroom community of the city of Louisville. It's gone through its ups and downs. I believe when it was settled, it was, according to local towns history, it was considered a very high-end place to live because of large brick mansions built near the river. Like you'd have a river view.
Got it.
And I think that's very true. It had gone through some hard times and became a more, rundown inner city. And it is now becoming a hipster, gentrified place to live.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people redoing those small, different names to them in different parts of the country, either a shot trot or a shotgun house where it's just like straight back, meaning you could shoot a gun through the front door and go out the back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like, long and, what would you call it? Like rectangular as opposed to square. So my friend Stacy has a beautiful, house that was redone, and she has redone some things since she bought it probably 10 years ago. And it's a lovely neighborhood, and it's, a lot of different cultures represented. There's a downtown New Albany area that is really becoming gentrified with like amazing gastropubs. Every time we go there, she takes me to a different restaurant with terrific food. And I mean, it's a really, it's really nice. It's, like I grew up in northern Kentucky across the Ohio River from Cincinnati. So it's so weird how people think, Cincinnati is more urban and inner city. And then you go across the river and no one has teeth and they all work in a coal mine. It's not like that. A lot of like professional sports players would cross the river to Kentucky because they got more for their money. So it was like really beautiful places that people that actually had some money lived. So New Albany is becoming that for Louisville, across the river. Instead of living in a high rise in the city, you move across the river to Indiana, southern Indiana, and it's really nice. I mean, it's becoming gentrified, but back in the 90s, it was probably in its, middle heyday. There were some good parts and some not great parts. And Robin and Christopher Baxter were this young couple who were living in New Albany. Now, they had only been married a short period of time. They seemed really happy. Neighbors thought, this couple is happy, but they would occasionally hear loud arguments.
Okay.
I'll just be honest. I am such a dummy about alcohol. All of these things seem to stem with, alcohol fueled fights.
Oh, got it.
Like one or both would be drinking too much and there would be, a lot of yelling, and then everything would be fine the next day. But I mean, I'm not saying who started the yelling or who yelled the most, but it was just, both of them, had, drinks. So I feel like I'm volatile enough sober that I don't need no fuel. So, yeah, June 19th of 1990. All of their neighbors loved Christopher and Robin, and 31-year-old Robin Baxter and her husband Christopher had gone to a neighbor's house. Now, there was like a house party. There's always house parties, right? Go to this house party, and there was a lot of alcohol consumed. The odd thing about the number of people at the party is it was a larger group of men than women. And there were 3 roommates who lived together, and they, Ricky Urton, Steve Burns, and Doug Reed. And they had lived together, and they plus Robin and Christopher had gone to a middle neighbor's house. It was like everyone met in the middle. So they're, having this party, and they go home. And Robin, I know you're not a big drinker, Joshua, but I've had friends who have come home drunk.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Jack in the Box built their business model on.
Oh, for sure.
It's like it's known as it's a stoner. God forbid that.
Stoners,
yeah, I mean, they make fun
drunk,
of themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, drunk stoners, like you're hungry in the middle of the night, they're open.
They're open, for sure.
So I would think if you're drunk, you would not want to eat a bunch of shit. It'd make you sick. But they,
a lot of fried foods. It feels like it soaks it up.
Yes, that's what I do remember people going, oh, I need like an omelet. And so I'm like, why? But yeah, they said fried food soaks stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just feels like it settles your stomach. I don't know if it actually does.
Right. It could just be psychosomatic.
Yeah.
But I have always found that fascinating. I managed comedy clubs. A lot of comics drink hard and heavy. Sure. Some of them handle it, some of them don't. But I have gone to Perkins and Denny's and all sorts of shit late night with them to try and help them sober up. Sure. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what's happening because I'm not drunk. I'll take another Coke. I know, so dumb. So yeah, they don't.
Grand Sandwich.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to think if it's Roger Rittenhouse. Really funny comic said, I think, is it Denny's that if you show your license, you get a free moons over my hammy for your birthday.
Okay. Yeah.
He said, if you ever see me at a Denny's on my birthday, please ask for a moons over my hammy and a side of bullets.
Jeez.
Which, you know what? I get that. I get that, Roger. Anyway, so they don't go out. They are at home, and maybe Christopher asks Robin to make him some spaghetti, which sounds like the worst thing ever when you're drunk. But so it's late night, early morning, and she is trying to make him spaghetti, and he is not having it. I don't know if it was like Chef Boyardee sauce or if it was al dente pasta and he wasn't happy. They get into a fight over spaghetti.
Oh, jeez.
At 4 a.m., he says she walked out and never came back.
Oh, no.
The next morning, he wakes up hungover, calls the neighbors, calls his sister. Have you seen Robin? Haven't seen her. She left last night and haven't seen her.
Oh, no.
No, we haven't seen her. Okay, so he calls the police, reports her missing, is honest, and says, we had a fight and she walked out.
Fight at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
We're both drunk.
Over spaghetti.
She walked out?
Mm-hmm. He said she walked out of the house.
Cars are there?
Just walked.
Just walked.
Okay. Yeah, just took off walking.
Okay.
Now, a neighbor, Mr. Perry, I know I have his first name here somewhere, said that he saw her walk out to make a phone call to call her mom. So 1990, I don't know if it's like a handheld.
Oh, on the
handset.
On the cordless house phone? Okay.
Right. That she had walked out, or maybe she had walked out to go find a phone booth.
Sure.
Back then they were still around.
Right.
So, or borrow a phone from a neighbor. But he said she had a tank top on, blood on her eye, her lip, and her shirt.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
And she was trembling. She wasn't crying, but she was trembling. Okay. And then she does not come back. So he tells the police, look, we had a fight over spaghetti. She walked out. I don't know where she went. Now, he did himself a little bit of a favor when he spoke to police several times because he answered, in my mind, he was, police play that game. They don't ever ask a question like attorneys that they don't know the answer to.
Right.
But they hope they ask you a question that might lead you in a certain way and you're like, "Oh, yeah, that could have happened." He didn't fall into the game.
Oh, okay.
Which is fascinating to me. So, he, says we had this fight and they're like, "Okay." 3 days, maybe 4 days later, so this is June 19th. So June 24th, she washes up on the Kentucky side of the Ohio River.
Okay.
Because of a double stack processing plant that has like a suction that will pull things from the river that might be like large trees and things. So there are workers it just so happens there are workers who go up to check on the double stacks. It's a power plant.
Okay.
And they see something in the water that looks like a body. So they find a partially clad woman, so badly beaten they cannot identify her.
Oh.
They know they only have one person missing in the area, and that is Robin. And she has been beaten so badly, her skull is crushed and her face is unrecognizable.
Oh, jeez.
So they call Christopher into the police station and they say, "Hey, would Robin have jumped into the river or fallen, maybe because she was, inebriated? Would she have gotten on the bridge and jumped? Which you can have a lot of impact wounds from into water, jumping into water." And here's what I thought was interesting. He said, "No, never. She was afraid of heights and afraid of water."
Huh. Okay.
They gave him an out.
Right. Huh.
They knew that she didn't jump or fall. But they gave him something he could have taken and built on, and they could have said, "Haha, you're lying." Yeah. But he was like, "No, never."
Right.
So the rumors started. Her ex-boyfriend, who she left to marry Chris, Eugene Higgs, I'll be honest, seems like a sweet guy. He was still in love with her. And he, it's New Albany is a small town. And rumors went crazy. And they were like, she is having an affair with somebody. What about those 3 guys at the party that were, all roommates? Ricky Urton, Steve Burns, Doug Reed. What about those guys? What about Eugene Higgs? And Christopher Baxter is not pointing a finger at anyone. He's just like, I don't know. I mean, he is not doing that, which is interesting. Like, why don't y'all check out this guy? He didn't say, "I think she had an affair." He just was saying somebody else did this.
Right.
She walked out and maybe she just met with foul play. He's saying that. So the detective at the time who was in charge of this case, major crimes, was Detective Paul Parsons, and he had worked there for 35 years. He had been in charge of the investigation and had done a great job. After Christopher Baxter moved out of the house, Detective Paul Parsons shows up, and there are new people that have moved in, the McMillans.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes you can say things happen for a reason. You can say it was just a coincidence. I don't think so, because it's a house with steps. It's not like, it wasn't a big house, but it sure wasn't like a tiny one room. While the McMillan family is moving in, a kitchen chair hits a part of the wall and breaks the drywall.
Okay. And it's new drywall?
I don't think they knew if it was new or old. It just was drywall. And I'll explain why it was probably looked better than if I had done it. And inside is a very long lead pipe. And Mr. McMillan goes, "Hey, look what I found. Found this pipe."
Oh, jeez.
And Mrs. McMillan, puts it in the garage, doesn't think about it.
Right.
Fix the wall. 6 months later, after they've moved in, Detective Parsons comes to the door and says, "Hi, I'm wondering if you would mind if I looked around your house." And there's, when they looked the original time, there was no sign of struggle. There was no evidence that they could find.
Okay.
He said, "I'm looking for something because in the meantime, Charles Lance was a friend of Robin's, and Christopher Baxter was having trouble with some little things around the house. And he said to Charles Lance, 'Hey, do you want to help me with some drywall?'
Jeez.
And he said, 'Sure.' So we helped him with little projects. And then Robin goes missing. Charles Lance said, 'I need to tell the police because Christopher had me fix a hole in the wall. Couldn't explain it. It was badly done. He knew it looked bad. So I did it. I was working on getting, better at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And before, when I had always been there, Christopher Baxter would say, 'I don't need a gun. I have this. It's the enforcer.'
Oh, jeez.
This is my enforcer or my equalizer.
Equalizer?
Mm-hmm. He would call it one or the other.
This
lead pipe.
Oh, boy.
So he realizes after Robin is missing, the lead pipe's missing. And he said, I'm thinking back on it, and Christopher had a bad temper, especially when he drank.
Sure.
So he goes to the police and tells them this, and guess what happens?
Nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I guess, Detective Paul Parsons goes to check on it and then gets the pipe out, gets a glove and a tissue. They test everything in 1990 and nothing shows up. So it goes into evidence and is forgotten.
Okay.
So 2011, Paul Parsons' son, Perry Parsons, is now a detective. After many years of being a patrolman, he gets moved up to being a detective. The first case he is given is Robin Baxter's case. His dad has retired after 35 years. He goes digging and he finds Charles Lance's statement. Christopher Baxter had a temper. He had a lead pipe that was missing. I wonder what happened. He looks through the autopsy. She was beaten to death with a cylindrical object.
Oh, jeez.
So he tries to get everything out of evidence. And guess what? The lead pipe has been lost or is missing.
Okay.
But back in 1990, there was no evidence on it. Right. And he said, it's now 2011, things are different.
Sure.
He takes the glove and the tissue, and lo and behold, there is evidence that it is Robin Baxter's blood. So in 2012, they arrest Christopher Baxter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
22 years after her murder, he's lived.
Thought he got away with
it.
For 22 years.
Yes. So they arrest him, and it takes the jury. That was February of 2012. July of 2012 is his trial. It takes the jury 7 hours.
Wow.
To convict him. And he is convicted of first-degree murder and I guess, I don't know what the Indiana word for circumstances that, like using a deadly object or something. Yeah, something, another, but he gets 55 years.
Oh, geez.
He says, no, I did not do this. His sister, his mother are pushing really hard for an appeal for him. I didn't do this. Those other guys did it. They go back and they do more research, even though there's a lot of circumstantial evidence about it being Christopher Barber. The 3 men who were the roommates were all 3 in a gay relationship together.
Oh, jeez.
And they have all three died of AIDS.
Oh, no.
So they can't question them,
Okay.
but they're pretty sure they would have zero reason to kill
Right, because she's
Robin Baxter.
Yeah.
She was friends with them. They loved her, and, they
Yeah.
would have no reason to kill her.
Right.
The neighbor, Joseph Perry, comes forward and says, look, she had blood on her. She was trembling. And I don't know if it was her, but earlier in the evening, I heard someone yelling, stop, stop, stop.
Oh.
So, I mean, other than, I guess, the fact that, there's a tissue with blood and a glove with blood, that he is buried in his house, and he goes, this. So there's an episode of Murder in the Heartland, season 6, episode 4, and this is what's great. It's called Solving the Unsolvable, and the interview with Perry Parsons, where he said he gets choked up because he says, my dad, who'd worked on this case and did the best he could in the 90s, he's retired, and it's the first case I'm handed as a detective, and I solved it. He said, my dad said, good work, son. I'm proud of you. And he's like probably in his 50s, and he gets like choked up. It's the sweetest thing to think that these, generational men have worked,
Yeah,
and
totally.
they're doing like a walkthrough of the New Albany Police Department. And he sees a big, picture of all these officers, and he goes, there he is. There's my dad. And he points, I mean, it's just it's the sweetest thing in the world. He obviously had great respect for his dad. When he talks about him, it's like a lot of, reverence. And here, he had started the case and, didn't have the tools to solve it.
Right.
Cut to 21, 22 years later, his son solves it. And what's so interesting is when people were talking about this case, they said New Albany was a great place to live. It was pretty quiet. And after Robin's disappearance and murder, everything changed. I was like, wow.
Huh.
One woman, and it wasn't just one person that said this. It was several people said this, like friends, people who hung out in the town. I would say there's 4 people, and they all independently of each other said, after Robin's murder, everything kind of changed. We didn't really notice it, but everything felt different.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
Huh, yeah.
The small town has, such a feeling for her.
Sure.
And here this poor woman was, her, shit ass husband gets away with it for 22 years,
That's
with
crazy.
with a pipe, with a lead pipe. In the drawing room, Professor Plum. I could see where your face was going.
No,
So his sister, his mom, and he put up a fight to get an appeal. They go before the Indiana State Court of Appeals in 2014. And, he says, nothing was proven, decisively. These other people could have done it. He tries to give every reason why, and the court's official statement is, we conclude that the trial court did not sentence inappropriately under the appellate rule 70B, and the sentence does not need an appellate revision. We decline to disturb the sentence imposed by the court.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know if he has other appeals. Some people said he died in prison. I can't find any records.
Okay.
I can't find any records. So, he would have been in his 30s in 1990, so he could absolutely still be alive.
Sure.
In his mid 60s, 70, he could still be alive. But I'll tell you, every picture of him is pretty dark. You don't want to judge anyone by a picture,
right?
But he just looks dark. He looks dark. The pictures of he and Robin together when they were younger, he looked happy. He's carrying her across the threshold of their kind of crappy apartment.
Right.
They're starting their life together.
Yeah.
I am not like judgmental. I think most people can drink socially.
Yeah, alcohol's a hard one.
It can be. It really can be.
There are some people. I mean, you've talked about Mark saying this. Some people can drink a beer or two, and some people cannot.
Right. Absolutely. And I wish I understood the mindset or the addiction or the obsession. I wish I understood it, because I just don't want to ingest anything that doesn't taste good.
Well,
I want
yes.
my calories tangible. I want to chew them, it's just like, it feels like it's a lot of calories. I also don't need to be out of control of my body or my faculties. I don't need to be out of control. I understand some people use it to like relax, and they say like specific like tannins in wine can be
glass of wine
yeah
after a long day. Sure. No, I don't fault anybody. Use
Me
what you
either.
want to use, and
Right.
I it's just not my big thing, and
Right.
but I do think there are some people who absolutely cannot do it. And
I believe it's absolutely chemical in your body. It's something you can't change. You can work on it and you can control it, but I don't want to say it's like he had an excuse, he was drunk. That's definitely not good enough.
No, there obviously was more toxicity there, because there are plenty of people who get drunk and don't murder their wives.
There are. Yeah.
No,
exactly.
I mean, there are plenty of people who get blasted drunk and or don't have a good time with alcohol, but there's not violence involved or fighting involved.
Right.
Like, you're still, some people are alcoholics, but he's a happy drunk.
Right. Surprisingly, that's what I am.
Right.
I thought I would just be a monster, but I'm not, apparently, according to Mark. I tell everyone I love them.
Oh.
I point to them.
Like, I love
you and I love you. Like a girl on the table and point. I know. Isn't that weird? So I thought I would be an absolute monster.
So fun.
I think that's another reason. I'm afraid to be out of control of my body. Like I want to be in control. Sure. I don't need to,
Oh, I don't. But alcohol just isn't the way that I like it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's fine.
Right.
I do it. I did a lot on that cruise. I drank so much.
But is that free or you had the card?
Because I had the card.
Okay.
So
whatever's free.
So much.
Yeah. You're not driving.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you take over the captain's thing and get away. I'm driving this.
And of course, I've been talking about it with my boys, what is alcohol and what's the thing. And so Isaiah, I'm going off to the bar and Isaiah's going to this thing. He says, "Oh, okay. Well, have fun slightly poisoning your body." Thank you for listening.
Yeah. That's a good kid.
It is. I mean, that's what it is. We're just poisoning our body a little bit because it feels good.
Right.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Because a little bit feels good. Too much doesn't feel good anymore.
Right. You're describing men.
Well.
Slowly poisoning my body. Yeah.
It's if it fits.
You can't acquit. Yeah.
I'll just be over here smoking weed.
Yeah, really. You just sit in the corner, hophead. Enjoy your pot. And some Jack in the Box.
I'm gonna eat a gummy and go get some Jack in the Box tacos.
Get the cat food tacos.
Oh my God, they're so good.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not, but they
are. They're terrible. They're terrible. So what's the lesson here, kids? Don't get drunk and kill your spouse. Okay. Thank you.
And don't drywall it into the wall.
And then, that's, I mean, and you rent the place. You don't own it.
Right.
And isn't that, I feel like that's fascinating that the McMillan's chair leg went right where the evidence was.
Yeah. No, come on. You threw her body in the river. Why didn't you throw the pipe in the river too? That seems...
I don't know.
It seems like a pipe would get lost in the river because the pipe would sink.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't kill people, Joshua.
Okay, well,
as far as you know.
Just I'm mad at that. Was dumb. Why'd you?
Okay, do you want me to try and find him through the Indiana State Police
can we find him?
Right, Bureau of Prisons? Hi, is Christopher Baxter there? Hi, Christopher. I have someone that wants to talk to you. Joshua, go ahead. You're dumb. Click.
Just want to talk
about calling a murderer.
That's my new podcast. It's a
Crank
spin-off.
calling of Yank Crankers.
Yes.
Yeah, Crank Calling Murderers with Joshua Bevan. Oh my God. Is your refrigerator running? Better go catch it. Click. You'll get stoned. You'll be eating cat food tacos, and you'll call prisoners and crank call them. Put money on the books.
Exactly. Because
Oh my God, you're so fucked up, my friend.
Send some extra ramen packets.
Yeah. Just so they'll answer.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have a tip on a missing person or an unsolved homicide, or you just want to suggest a case, do not call Joshua. Give us a call at 832-TIPSTER. That's 832-847-7837. You can email us at jttipsters@gmail.com. You can find us on any of the social media platforms, just the Tipsters Facebook page, at JT Tipsters on Instagram, at JT Tipsters Pod on Twitter, and more cowbell.
If you would like to support this podcast and get early access and other cool murderous swag, go to patreon.com/justthetipsters.